Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome to this episode of Trainz 22. We're tackling the route from Bakersfield to Mojave for the third time. The first time I did it was the very first time I played the game ever, and it resulted in running a red light and a derailment. Second time, I ran a red light that I didn't even see, and so when I came into the Mojave stop sign, it didn't give me credit for it, so I was disqualified. So I kind of took that as, all right, that's my training run. And so the third time I got up this morning, this is like a 2.5 hour, 2 hour and 15-minute run. So it's nothing you take lightly. It's a time commitment. So I like that it feels real. So this time I just took some notes along the route and paid extra attention to what I was doing, making sure I wasn't making any mistakes. And this time I didn't even see a red light. So I think I just played it the way it was supposed to be played. Super fun if you're a train guy. If you're not a train guy, super boring, I'm sure. So there's a lot of, I was able to play a game on my phone during some sections of this. It's 2.5 hours, so I did slow it down here just because when two trains cross, it's just really cool. So I went back to real time. In this instance, and also when we went through the loop. So just some great opportunities to kind of train watch, and I just like to play with the camera views while I'm playing. It gives you something to do, but you can have a lot of fun just by looking at your train from all kinds of different perspectives. And in this case, this opposing train stops, and that gives you a good opportunity to get some great photos and video. So, and here we're cruising up into the hills, getting close to the loop, and then once we get to the loop, we'll slow the speed back down again so we can watch it go through. Definitely a place that I'd like to visit and do some actual train spotting, which would be so fun. So, especially if you could time it so you've got quite a few trains coming through. So this is looks like a large Catholic church or something. I need to look that up and see some cool shots circling the huge church, and then into the loop. So you can see that loop. There we go. We're going to slow our speed down as we come around this last bend. There is a tunnel underneath of the loop, and so if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to go beneath another train, which in this case we do. So we see a train coming down this slope as we're going up the slope, and we're going to cross, which gives you a lot of trains to check out during the loop. So here's my train coming up, getting ready to enter the loop, and that other train coming back down. I think it's a it's not the same company. So I think it's a Southern, and here we go, entering the tunnel. No matter what your view is while you're playing, it snaps to tunnel view, and then we'll go right back to where you were before. So in this case, you come out of the tunnel and you can see the end of the other train coming down. Not even the end, like the middle of that huge train coming down. And so I love this curve right here because you've got this great farm and this big barn right there. And so in this case, the two trains meet just about perfectly. And I zoom in just a little bit here for a screenshot, but this is just such a cool picture of this like homestead with the barn, and then boom, you got these two trains coming in opposite directions. So that is a Santa Fe, the other train. So we got both Santa Fe's, just different color schemes. A lot of tonnage, a lot of weight, a lot of things being delivered going in opposite directions across the country. Some of these items will end up all the way across in Chicago, which is where the main route either starts or ends. And this particular train in this session stops as we continue up the grade. So what's cool here is you see the tail end of the car and the front end of the car at the same time, which is really awesome. So my train is coming uphill right there, but that tail end there with the helper pusher engines and the caboose. Interesting, there's a caboose. That's kind of a thing of the past, but it's cool that there's a caboose on the end of this train consist. And that kind of leads us up out of the loop, which is the most scenic part, for sure, of this route. So the whole thing is a 66-mile run between Bakersfield and Mojave. The speed limit changes, so you have to really pay attention. I got caught speeding a couple times, and that's, I think, what cost me some points, but I ended up doing okay. But you go through, you start at Bakersfield, you go through Caliente at milepost 20, and then Bealville at milepost 25. I made a note that at milepost 31 is where you overtake the stalled train in this session, and then at milepost 34, there's a little town called El Rita, and the loop happens right about milepost 45. So that brings you out to a little town called Monolith at milepost 50, and then Cameron at milepost 55, a little town called Fram at 62, and sorry about that, and Sage, a little town called Sage. I didn't catch the milepost, but shortly after that, right around 64, and brings you into Mojave at milepost 66. And so here we are, just finishing up the route, and top speed here, of course, right? So going as fast as we can around the last corner and into Mojave. You got some pine trees there on the left, and you get credit for entering Mojave and then credit for stopping. And my score was 1,999, and it's 4 out of 5 stars. So there definitely some room for improvement. It does not tell you how to improve or where you lost points. So the whole scoring system can definitely be improved, but it was a fun run. So I'll catch you next time. For now, Mr. Johns is out.